Hi, this is Dr. C, and this is Drawing Flowcharts using Draw.io. Draw.io works in your browser. You go to the website and you log in using your Google account or any cloud account. We have some simple steps to follow, and I'm going to cover these in a demo. Here we are on the site. I'll click Create New Diagram, blank is fine, and the Create button in the lower right corner. I'm going to cancel where I'm going to put it and say Use Root Folder. Later I'll put it in another folder. Okay, here I am. And on the left I have my shapes, and I can always select more shapes if I didn't have enough. And all you do is check them, and then you can grab more different kinds of shapes. But for right now we're going to use Flowcharts and General. Say Apply. On the right, it's going to keep changing as we select things. So let's get started. We're going to scroll down, go to Flowchart, just expand it, go down, and we're going to grab a start. Either of these will do. This time I'll grab the round one. I'm going to move it over a little bit, just so I don't feel crowded. Next, I want to declare some variables. I'll just grab this one and bring it down. Now I'll call it declare and variables. Okay, so if I had a bunch of variables, I'd declare them in that box. Okay, next I want to input some values, and I'm going to grab the parallelogram and drag it down. Now you'll notice it keeps trying to center everything. That's what that line is that keeps coming up. That's wonderful. And on this one I'm going to say I'm going to input something, whatever it is. That could be typing in from the keyboard, reading from a file, whatever. Next, I'll grab another, instead of a square, I really want to grab something that is a process. We could be setting values to our variables. We could be calculating things. So I'll just say calculate for right now. And I'm not saying what yet because this is a generic example, right? Next, I want a decision. What if I'm done? You know, I want to ask myself that question. So I will, am I done yet? And of course, I'll loop back around if I'm not, and if I am, then I'll continue on down the line. Okay, next, I'm going to output. So I'll grab another parallelogram, drag it down, and I'll just call that one output. Yours is going to say whatever the exercise says, not just these generics, right? And then last but not least, I'm going to end. And I'm going to go back down to the flowchart symbols. I could grab a terminator, or I could grab one of these starts and make it a stop. Since I selected a circle to begin with, I'm going to do the same thing. It's a matter of style, and it can be your style. Okay, now I need to draw lines, so I'm going to reduce the size. You notice when I click on the paper, I get this zoom back. In other words, these menus keep changing depending on what I have selected. So when I look at it at 50%, I'm using all of my paper, right? I'm going to hover over one of the little junction points on a circle, and I'm just hovering. I'm not clicking anything. I'm going to depress the left mouse button or cursor button and drag down. And I can do it again here and drag down, and I let up. If I didn't have it quite where I wanted it, I could adjust it, I can delete it, etc. I can move it. Right now, this is the correct way to do a flowchart. They line up, and of course I could have lined up all my shapes. I mean, what if my shapes aren't quite centered? I could have arranged and shaped them. The way you do it is you select them all, I'm just holding down the shift key and left clicking them, and you notice on the right now we're looking at style, and we could be adding words or changing the style. We could add some text and change its style, and we can also go to arrange, and I scroll down and I'm going to select center. So I select the center icon, that's it right there, And when I looked down, yep, everything was already centered. I didn't put start in the start, did I? So I'll do that real quick. I just click on it and type the word start. Now, I'm going to rename it so it's not called Untitled, right? We'll call it Flowchart Demo. We'll call this one 7. I do a lot of charting. And then, last but not least, we're going to export as, and I like PNG. The reason I use PNG rather than JPEG is, first off, it's lossless, which means it doesn't lose information every time it's saved. Secondly, I can go for a transparent background. And what that means is it won't be a white background, it'll be see-through. So if I put it on a colored piece of paper, it will look good, you know, unless it's black, right? And I'll say export, and I'm just going to go to my device. I will just save it, and I already have a name. I'll put it there. And let's grab a piece of paper, like your homework, right? Microsoft Word. We're going to insert picture, and we'll just go to recent places and look and see where we put that. Here it is. Okay. Now let me reduce the size of this so you can see what it looks like, right? Let's go to like 75 and there we are. Now obviously I have to put my name on my homework, right? And by the way, if you can't drag these around or do anything with them in Word, just double click it. Go up here to wrap text, say top and bottom or something, and then drag it over. You could allow text to be next to it. That's under wrap text, and you would decide, you know, whether you want text in front of it, behind it, square, or whatever, and it'll show you an example of what that looks like, okay? Well, I'm Dr. C, and this has been a quick look at how to draw flowcharts using draw.io. The beauty of that tool is they give you a free to license agreement where you're allowed to use that tool for commercial use, for class use, or just for your own enjoyment. Have a great week, and I'll see you online. Bye-bye.